Hey, Dave Mustaine, what is going on, my man?
Hey, I'm just pulling into Pocatello here. We're at the venue, and we're getting ready to tear it up tonight.
That's what I like to hear, Dave Mustaine. So, Pocatello, 2-night Portneuf Hell Trust Amphitheater. Of course, Biohazard out on the road with you guys. We are super psyched to see you in Pocatello tonight.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited to be here. I've got a pretty unique history with Pocatello, actually.
Let's hear it.
Well, I used to live here, and I ran away from California and moved up here with my sister. May she rest in peace. Lived in Ingham, and I came up here the first time when I was about maybe 12, 13, and then I ran away from California and lived up here when I was 15. I actually got my driver's permit from Pocatello Courthouse.
No way! That's crazy!
Yes,
I've never heard that before.
Yes way, man. I have roots here.
That is awesome. So is it kind of like coming back home in a bit of a way?
It does. It does sit well with my soul coming up here because there's just something about this area up here and people that I just really enjoy it, and it reminds me of really good times in my life, and people are really cool, and it's beautiful up here.
Well, that's great. Hopefully we can bring some of those memories back tonight and make you feel right at home here in Pocatello.
Thank you.
Hey, no problem. Actually, you guys were supposed to play Pocatello, I think in like 2020, and then it ended up getting canceled because of the pandemic. I've actually had incredibly bad luck when it comes to seeing Megadeth. I have had tickets to Megadeth on 4 separate occasions, all of which I was not able to actually attend the show, whether it was canceled or one of the days I was getting married or something came up. And finally, I got to see you guys last year in Salt Lake when you were on the road with Five Finger Death Punch. And your soundboard burnt out right in the middle of Hangar 18. And I think you did maybe 2 songs after that, but had to cut the set a little short. So I'm looking forward to seeing a whole set from Megadeth tonight.
Yeah, it will be great. We've got a bunch of songs from our catalog that we're playing, a bunch of new songs too. We currently have a guitar player situation where our current guitar player is a man named Timu Montessori, and our regular guitar player is Kiko Loureiro. Kiko had some issues. He went home, and Timu came in, and people are losing their minds over how things are going right now because we have a really good chemistry together. I mean, we've been able to add a bunch of songs to this set because Timu was a metal fan. Kiko did not grow up baptized in metal.
Man, glad to hear he's fitting into the band just fine then. So you're throwing some deeper cuts into the set list?
Yes. Like the show we did a couple nights ago, we opened with Hangar, and then we followed it up with Mechanics. And
oh, nice.
We've never done that before, so it's pretty heavy beginning. And we've added a second track off of the new album with Soldier on, and we're getting ready to add a third. But the tour is going to be ending in a couple days, and the next thing, obviously, is preparing for next year. We have another really good run in the States, and this one is set up properly with enough time from the announcement of the date to when the concert actually happens. Tonight's concert, unfortunately, was announced a very short time before we played tonight. Yeah. And so it's going to be reflective when people come, if they look around and they say, well, I thought this was going to be totally crammed. Hopefully it will be. And we just are aware, we fired our agent and got a new agent. And there's a couple shows that we have to make in transition. One of them was in Bloomington a couple nights ago, and that was a really messed up concert from the get-go. I don't know if you saw them.
Yeah, I did with security and all that.
Yeah, and they tried to make me a bad guy because I call them pussies. You know what? If the guy that said I was a bad guy for saying the word pussy was getting his butt kicked by 4 guys, I bet you he'd want me to stop playing too.
Exactly.
It's funny when you're not in the midst of the turmoil that's going on. It's really easy to be a Monday morning quarterback, but it just didn't look right to me. The guy got pulled over the barricade. He got seriously smacked around, and then the security guys acted like they did nothing wrong. And I watched it all, and I'm sure you probably saw the video too.
Oh,
so, anyways, we had some of these shows that we knew that because of the short period of time from the announcement to the concert, that there was a chance that tickets might be left over before concert time, which we've been selling out most of our shows. So some of these times when you go in and there's tickets left over, you kind of ask yourself, well, are we doing something wrong, or is there no radio support? And Megadeth right now has had the best relationship with our friends at radio and some of the streaming channels since our inception. You know, we were never a radio band in the first place, and we've just stayed true to ourselves. And, you know, the music has always been really melodic, and I think that it's time for us. I don't know. I think we just persevered long enough and stayed true to ourselves. And now it's, like I said, it's our time.
And you definitely have our support right here on The Pick. I am going to go out on a limb and say we play more Megadeth on my station than any other station in Eastern Idaho. No doubt about it.
Yeah, I believe that. And I would imagine it's probably the whole state.
Yeah. I mean, we love Megadeth over here. Like I said, we're super psyched to have you. I mean, I've been following your career for a very long time. So I have to say, it is an honor to be talking to you, Mr. Dave Mustaine.
Yeah, especially since we're neighbors.
Exactly what I'm saying. I love it, man. Like I said, I've been following your career for a long time. And one thing I really enjoyed was your super in-depth interview with Joe Rogan last year.
Oh, yeah.
How does that happen? How do you get on Joe Rogan? Does he just call you up one day? Hey, Dave, come on the podcast. What's the process there?
You know, I don't know. I don't know if we called him or they called us or what, but I like Joe, and we have some stuff in common. And we had a really nice talk, just two guys, just talking. And, you know, I was trying to make sure I didn't go too far in any direction that he may not be familiar with, but he really knew what he was talking about, and we just had a wonderful conversation. I would love to go back there.
Now, after the podcast, I mean, does he cook you a elk steak, or do you roll around on the jiu-jitsu mat?
No and no, but we did have a very wonderful time visiting his studio and meeting Joe and his staff. He truly is a star, and he is very humble as far as I'm concerned, being as big as a radio personality and an online personality and television personality as it is. He's really, really down to earth, and I just enjoyed the hell out of my experience there.
Yeah, for sure. And it's really cool to see, you know, heavy metal represented on a scale like that.
Yes, it is. I love being able to do this. You know, when I went to the White House during the Rock the Vote campaign when Clinton was running against Bush so many years ago, that was great for us because I was the unofficial elected official of the disenfranchised youth of America, and being able to go into Congress and going down to the Democratic National Convention that was held at the Madison Square Garden. You know, I went and I was dressed kind of casually. I had a flannel shirt on and my glasses, and my hair was in a ponytail, and I'm walking around and interviewing these guys, and I guarantee you every one of these guys looked at me and thought, this is going to be dumb. But I had some really relevant questions. I had a guy named Dave Cerelnik from MTV with me, and he would give me a little bit of a refresher course on each person and told me the difference between the two Carries, the Bob Carey and John Carey, which was very, very eye-opening. And stuff like, we went up to, what's his name, Phil Jackson, the guy that was the coach of the Chicago Bulls while we were there. And I said, hey, man, MTV wants to talk to you. He goes, fuck MTV. And I said, oh, okay. All right, Mr. Zen.
Well, there you go. I mean, speaking of MTV, I remember seeing a couple documentaries, you know, years ago. And in the documentaries, you were talking about how Alice Cooper is your godfather. And I've had the pleasure of meeting Alice Cooper, obviously nicest guy in the world. I'm curious, what is your relationship like with Alice nowadays?
It's strong. I love him. He's my godfather. And more importantly than that, you know, Alice is such a good man. He is a Christian and has a Christian foundation called the Solid Rock Foundation, and it helps wayward teens and stuff like that. And I thought that was really awesome. I wanted to be part of it, helping him, because, you know, I was one of those wayward teens. I was just talking to my jiu-jitsu professor this morning about when I was really little. I ended up going to juvenile hall, which was really terrible, but it was very eye-opening for me because I did not want to have that be a part of my life going into adulthood, you know, and I can say I honestly learned my lesson, but, you know, you never really know where these lessons are going to end up showing up in your life. And I think all of these lessons, even the dying in 1992 when my heart stopped, all that stuff that happened, those have all been really eye-opening lessons that have helped make me who I am, whether they taught me not to do something or taught me to commit even harder to stuff. You know, like one thing I know is I don't need more friends.
Sure.
I need to honor my I need to honor my friends more, and just be a better friend to the friends that I got. A lot of people think quantity is better than quality, and I don't. That's why it takes time for us to make a Megadeth record. That's why we are so picky about the songs that we put on our set. That's why I've been so fortunate with the guitar players I've picked, because I take my time and I make sure.
So, last question for you, Dave. I have a feature on my show. It's called Shaggy's Picks. So every day at 5 o'clock, I pick, kind of whatever song I'm feeling that day. And for the month of October, I'm actually doing like Halloween or kind of creepy feeling songs. Is there a Megadeth song that comes to mind that would kind of fit into that category I could throw on?
Skull Beneath the Skin.
Skull Beneath the Skin. You got it. That's a great pick. Consider it done, Dave Mustaine.
All right, Shaggy.
Hey, no problem. Thank you so much for taking a couple minutes out of your time joining me on the phone today. And we very much look forward to Megadeth tonight, Portneuf Health Trust Amphitheater in Pocatello. Select tickets still available on our website right now, classicrockidaho.com. And that's going to be at 8 o'clock. And Biohazard opening up. Anything else you want to say, Dave?
No, I'm ready. You guys come on down. Any of the people that I went to school with back when I used to live here, if you remember me, come say hi.
That's right. Say hi to the Pocatello local, Dave Mustaine, right?
That's right, dude.
There we go. Rock on, brother. Thank you so much. Can't wait to see you at the show tonight.
You're welcome. Cheers, Shaggy. Later.